about Puff Sheik, hopefully. So let's try it. Let's do it. All right, my mic doesn't always work, so we're gonna test it. Hello.
How are you doing today?
So good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just finished work, so and the waddle is quite soon, so that's super exciting.
True, that is exciting. What else is also exciting is we're doing a little talk today. Yippee!
Yeah, yeah.
I
Uh,
actually recorded the games you gave me. They're here.
Perfect. So, there was quite a few things, but I feel like Sheik is quite the walling character, and sometimes I feel like her backer is bigger than mine. There's a few things, but
Sure.
yeah,
Oops.
it can be quite challenging at some positions.
Okay. Do you think Love Story did that a lot in these games?
Well, I feel like they weren't doing it at first, but they were quite good at adapting. And eventually, like halfway through our sessions, they noticed that I had a specific issue with that, so they got rewarded for doing it, so they did it more and more, right?
Right. And just to be clear, this was just like a friendly session.
So I did a 1 hour friendly session, and then we did a best of five where we try hard, but it's not tournament.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Just a sec here. So I guess we could try to point those out and maybe talk about it. But I might Discord screen share with you.
Yep, that sounds great. Um,
And what do I call you? Do I call you 200 MXP Emma or
yeah, just call me Emma.
Emma?
200 MXP is quite a mouthful, so.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't keep it 200 if you know what I mean. Let's see
But
if
I quite like the names, so I'm gonna keep it anyways.
let's see if I get the cursor in too. So you can see the screen, but you can't see my cursor. So
Yeah, that's right. How long have you been coaching, by the way, at?
I did it like 6 years ago, maybe with the Peterborough seed, but now I'm just getting back into it like the last month. So
Oh, that's yeah, that's fair enough.
yeah, I just thought I'd make some recordings of me doing it with people and seeing if that's something we could vibe with. Oh,
Well,
Jesus.
I felt like I could especially benefit from a Sheik perspective because we in Ottawa we've always been a region with very little Sheiks, and it's probably the matchup I've played the least in like all of the top tiers
Okay,
with both Puff and Peach. So I feel like it's a matchup where I'm not so familiar with what I'm supposed to do compared to most other top tiers.
fair enough. Do you feel it is even of a matchup?
Uh, no, I think Puff wins, but
How hard? Like 55
like
or
yeah, 55-45 sounds about right. But like I don't know if I'm like the forefront expert on that, but that's how I feel right now. At least 55-45. But I really believe in Puff in every single matchup except Fox. So,
it just sorry, what was that? In every
but I
matchup, but what?
except Fox. I well, that's a tough one. But
You go Marth, right?
well, I tried going Marth, but it just makes me so salty, and I think I'm over it. I'm just gonna go Peach for Fox.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's working anyways. There's no need to fix something that's not broken.
True.
Not every matchup needs to be a winning one. If I can get a 55-45 with Peach, I mean, Ansa just did it. It's good enough, right?
We take those. Just a moment, sorry. I'm just gonna say hello, chat. We're doing a coaching or a talk right now, so I won't really be talking to chat, but also hello, Trinell, and yeah, sorry about that. So I think we should start the video.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't think I get my cursor for you on Discord, but if you pull up my stream, you'll be able to see it if we really need
All
it.
right.
But who knows?
I,
Who knows if it'll
I
work?
I completely forgot you were streaming this. Yes, of course. I'll pull off. I'll go on the stream right now.
Oh, sounds good. Do you know where it is? Do you need me to link it?
It's gotta be on Sarik, right?
With an S. You add my tag. It's my tag, and then you just add an S. That's
I'm
all I got.
searching it now. Found it.
Salrix.
Hit 7 viewers. Clicking on it.
Right.
I'm having an ad.
Oh, sick. I guess that's what I heard through your speakers. But thanks for the
No.
follow, by the
Yep.
way. Live follow. So I'm gonna start the video. I actually already watched. I watched this as it was recording, so I do have some thoughts. This is way too loud.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna one more time repeat it.
So
And I see what you mean by walling, right?
yeah, so I'm not following like specific rules. I'm just going purely off of feel. So perhaps if we can install a few like rules that might be helpful, right?
Did you
Like
say fear or feel?
feel.
So you go completely off of feel. You've said that a couple times,
Yeah,
right?
so I do like okay, I know crouching will beat the grab, right? So I get a good feel for it, and then I try to do it when I feel it's right, right? Or and I apply that to everything, right?
That's a great way to put it. You feel it out. Like I can relate to that. So I don't know if I'll be able to relate in your gameplay where I'm like, yeah, I know where you should do it, but
Yeah,
I
well,
get what you mean by like feeling out the gameplay and like playing by feel.
yeah.
Uh, I do you go for the rest uh, off of down smash ever like out of shield?
No, I need more information on that. Do you know like the specifics of when you can and cannot go for it?
You like pretty much can always go for it, but it's kind of like right here. You
Right.
gotta react. You gotta wait, and then for the other, like the last hit, and like you have enough time to basically jump out of shield and rest. I don't know. You probably already know that, but I don't know the specific frames. That's the
Oh,
problem
I
I'm
see.
having. Uh,
Because I remember Duck making a post on Twitter that you should spot dodge before the last hit of Sheik's
okay.
down, the third hit of Sheik's down smash. So I wasn't sure if you should go before, right after the second hit or after the third hit for
I'm
the rest.
pretty sure it's after the third hit. However, Jason 2K2L by chat is saying you just drop shield CC the second hit.
Right.
So I think that's probably more the right answer.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'll try that.
another,
That's definitely
I had
worth
just
looking into.
one thought. Also, hello, Pea Soup. Um, I was thinking if you do you ever like take the down smash and just grab them, like you crouch cancel.
No, I didn't think of doing that.
I like I like that idea for you then.
Okay.
Instead of just like you shield that if you feel that they're going to down smash, you can just crouch cancel instead and get a grab, or you can just shield grab. But
Right.
anyway, you get a fair that is obviously crouch cancel. She rolls.
I guess the
Um,
grab would be netting more though.
apps of it's better than nothing. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Like the rest is like the best, and then uh, yeah.
Okay.
I think you can rest out of shield without having to CC, but it's harder. Maybe I don't know the specifics again, but I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out maybe that's just a general rule I'm gonna point out more is crouch canceling. Like don't even focus on getting your shield out here when you keep
Right.
spamming like that. Like yeah, get a grab or even use a rest if you can feel that out. I'm pretty sure you could like hold in towards her and yeah, you could get a rest there. Uh, that was sick, by the way. I liked
Thank
that
you.
rest. But I want to go over this one more time. You down smash. You get. What even happened here? What? Do you
That's
go
not
for
fair.
baits on Sheik like that often?
Yeah, I like because I saw Hungry Box. The other person is like shielding, so he'll read that because he likes doing tomahawks, right? So the next step is you read that they'll get out of the way so they can roll or they can jump, and if you read that they're gonna jump, you can do an up air to get their jump out of shield, right?
Probably. You're most likely right. That was a mouthful. I'm like, uh, I don't understand. I think.
Well, that's my thought process. It's not like labbed out. It's not like super fleshed out, but
Like you said, Hungry Box with Tomahawk here.
he would either tomahawk or what I've seen him do when is that up air specifically. I took that from Hungry Box.
Okay. And why does it work?
The Sheiks love to nair out of shield. They love jumping out of shield, right? Like their get out of jail free option.
Thanks for telling me. Now I understand something more. Yeah, that's a great way to to catch that. Wow. And it works out perfectly. So I'm gonna move on from that stock. That's a great start, obviously. How do you feel? I didn't ask this yet. How do you feel about Yoshi's like You obviously banned this in a best of three.
I think it's the one I should ban. But
Mm-hmm.
if let's say I would play you,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I would say, okay, well, Sarik's a bit better than me. Perhaps I should leave Yoshi's on and get a bit more variance in it, right?
That's a really interesting point of view that I don't think I don't think I've ever done. But
But
I like it.
yeah, if I'm playing a worse player, then I would be more likely to ban Yoshi, even if it's a quote unquote a better stage for me in any matchup, right? So it's a high variance stage. So
Good point.
that's how, yeah, that's how I see it.
Cool. Oh God.
Yeah, that was bad. It
uh,
happened a lot.
I actually wanted to mention how hard it is to. I feel like you have to put all your gamer reactions with Puff into your DI. It's actually like you have to DI so fast. That's all I'm thinking about. Like last night I was playing Legion, and it was on Dreamland, and he was like DIing my fares perfectly off the side, and then last stock I just kick him with a bear at 100, and he just dies.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that'll happen. Because you want to drift back so often with buff that you just get caught sometimes. So.
yeah, and you don't react, and yeah, that's exactly what happened here. Fair. Let's see. Like I think there's a lot that just goes wrong into you getting back aired.
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of wrong decisions that go into it. So
Hmm.
I think this fair, fine. But when you started to disrespect Sheik here probably with trying to take space after whiffing a move.
Yeah, in the first place, that makes sense.
So I guess if I were Puff I would rather uh, like just float down, and I think that's what more gets me when I'm playing against Puff. So
Well, you think so, but then it gets really scary, right? Because she starts having needles downwards, and then the lower you go, the more options she has, right? So I guess it's a one-time mix-up, right?
sure, yeah, you could call it like a mix-up or a coin flip. This is hope everything's not in the way. By the way, I just realized this might be. Uh, anyway, so you could say it's a 50-50, but one kills you and one hits you with a couple or a few percent. You could get caught in a mix up there too.
That's
So
a good
you
point.
are, yeah, you are right. But I'm just gonna go over it one more time because I feel like there's lots of time, or generally speaking, lots of time.
Well, I guess if she went high pretty quickly, and I still had time to react right here, right? Like where it's
That's
paused.
that's kind of what I'm saying. Is so here,
Yeah.
uh,
So it's not even a read, it's you can literally react, I guess.
that's what I'm thinking. So
Okay.
yeah, one more time, fair. Here you're doing nothing. She's
Yeah.
already committed to doing a back air. Of course, that's a lot to see. So I think your way of feeling things out is a better way to go. Like trying to react to everything isn't always the best way, but
Sure.
yeah, it sounds like you're realizing yeah there is lots of time to react there.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
So I guess that's why Yoshi's is so good. You had like nowhere to go after that.
Yeah.
Where like I think what goes wrong is you're just throwing out these fares. It seems like what is the purpose of them?
Well, I'm not even sure. I think there's no thought process behind it other than perhaps it probably worked once or twice in the past, and then like I kept doing them,
It
and
would. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and we're probably reaching the skill level where it's not working anymore. So I'm gonna have to think about that.
It works because probably you've had a Sheik try and like follow up with a bear here, and you were forward airing and it like traded, and they both soft hit. So like that could happen, but what I'm noticing is a habit rather than like intention. So you even said it yourself; it's kind of thoughtless. So just something to think about is don't just be fairing out of hits done. There's lots of movement options I think you could be choosing. Yeah, see, that's what I meant there, right?
Oh, by the way, when you do a fair with Puff, it increases your movement velocity or something of that nature. I don't have like the frame data, but
Okay, then
jumping with an aerial makes you go faster. So
I'm a
it,
dummy.
it
I had
yeah.
no
So
idea.
if you jump with Puff and no aerial, you'll just go really slow. So that is one thing to keep in mind.
super true, then I would think to uh, prioritize movement because you said it makes it better, right?
Yeah, it makes you move it faster.
Then let's think uh, if it's so much better, then you probably have more time to react there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
I have no idea. So what, sorry?
yeah, well, you could do it with a down air as well, and it would shift your hurt box upwards and give you the down air hitbox. So that can be quite useful if you're trying to cross them up as well. So that can be one tool that's used that gives you the speed boost as well.
Cool. Uh, it sounds like though we're at an understanding of this part though.
Yeah.
I, I'm dwelling at this point. Oops. Good.
Yeah, I think we understand that one.
Now, now I can move on. Get that through my head because the reason I was so ready for this talk is because we have like 45 minutes. Like we're both in Waddle Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
And we can basically just pull discussion out of the gameplay, and it's kind of free like that. So, but I do tend to hyperanalyze and get stuck on points.
Don't worry about it. I,
Will not do then.
yeah, as we learn a few things, that's the important part.
Absolutely, I agree. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna take a moment to fix up my stream. Sorry. What I can do is completely put the gameplay on the side of the screen, and then all the other stuff on the. You see what I mean? Hey, streamer magic. Cool. So what was going on here? Just the start of the stock. What was that up tilt? Super neat. Right here, when Sheik's ledge dashing, were you trying to cover it with an up tilt?
I suppose that it could be an execution test, right? I don't
Yeah,
remember what I was thinking at the time.
you were thinking that probably. However, I would just time it a little further ahead
Okay,
because
yeah,
you're.
that makes
Let's
sense.
yeah, you're doing it as soon as she jumped up. That's not even a bad timing. What happened? Maybe you. I think you just. Yeah, he succeeded the execution test. I
Yeah, I think so.
think that's definitely what happened, or it wasn't that hard of one, but maybe yeah, timing the up tilt would have made it a bit harder. I think that's a takeaway there. And then grab. You're expecting them to hold shield because you like you'd be up tilting it again, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm thinking we're deep in the rock paper scissors. uh, right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's after an hour of friendlies, so it's not like we didn't know what the
Yeah,
other
no,
person wanted, right?
some advanced rock paper scissors. That's something I guess I'd like to pull from then if you're saying it's after an hour and like there's lots of adaptations into it.
Mhm.
Uh, that's what I analyzed. What was happening was just like, wow. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. What are your like here? You're getting walled out again, right?
Yeah,
Eh,
it's very annoying.
So that's like twice now. I'm noticing she's walling you out, and you're kind of like lost.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation for me right now, because well, I'm getting better at beating the Sheik because what I'm thinking. So my thought process is and that's something I've thought about like 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
is uh, the Sheik has less aerial mobility than the Puff, so perhaps a good thing to go for would be to punish the landing of the Sheik when she's trying to do walling out.
Okay. So,
But then
oh, go ahead.
then you still have to keep the Sheik honest once in a while by hitting her while she's still in the air. Otherwise, she'll just gain too much space, right? So I've been thinking about that a bit, but I wouldn't say I'm very comfortable in it at all.
Yeah, and you take like 30% here because of just trying to feel it out, and you're not if you're not comfortable, you just get hit a lot, like the all
And
button.
I don't know my heights either, right? So, like, I have a general idea of what I want to do, but I'm not sure what option at what height, right?
Okay, I would if you're finding yourself like running into a wall, like bashing your head into a wall, I would like you immediately are always, I think you're going forward as soon as possible every frame I've seen you.
Right.
So
I do,
so
I
there
do
you were like
do that, yeah.
going towards. That's the one time you did go back, but it's unfortunate you didn't get the wave land. So I'll just go replay that one more time. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but yeah, again, you see you go forward here, you go into here. Um, do you feel uncomfortable at the ledge too?
Uh, not, no, not really. Not against Sheik at the very least.
Then probably take more advantage of it. I know there's the needle situation, but I haven't. I don't think I saw you get like needle stormed by Love Story that much off the stage. We'd have to look at some different
Right.
gameplay, but I think this time you didn't go off the stage nearly enough, and it didn't abuse that you're so comfortable with the ledge. I think.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think Left Story is a needler at the ledge. Um,
Yeah, I didn't
so,
see that much.
no, I don't think so.
One thing I do want to point out, it's really interesting in the Puff Sheik matchup, how just the concept of rest. I don't know, because you took a stock, right? Like bang,
Yeah,
right off, but you're behind. How does that happen? And I think the theory behind it is Sheik wins neutral a lot, if not most of the time, and Puff needs to be nickel and diming and like hitting those execution tests and those punishes. So that's my general thought process.
yeah, I do think Sheik wins neutral more often than Buff. That's for sure.
Yeah, at least a good Sheik does. And even Love Story here, yeah, is winning a ton just by throwing out really good Sheik options. That's what I'm noticing.
Yeah,
Just that hits because again you're going into him when
yeah,
he's at 0%. Like Sheik at 0, it's annoying and she's intimidating. I understand, but this just hitting that fair was a lot. It meant a lot. You got her out of 0, so instead of floating into her again, because what are you gonna hit other than maybe an up air, right? Up air's really slow.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you just get hit for it.
I think that's a trend we've seen so far in this game, right? I'm going in way too fast, and that was another example of what you pointed out earlier. So I guess that it's something to think about.
Yeah, just always going in. I don't even think the past few seconds like are an example. I think you're playing fine, even if it doesn't go your way all the time. But yeah, previously we see what you mean. Wow. Here's something Love Story wasn't doing, and I wanted to point out because he wasn't up airing at all out of throws. Was that a thing you just noticed throughout the session? Because here I
I
think
did
up air would have killed.
I did not notice that actually, but most of the Sheiks at my skill level are not doing that yet.
Wow.
But well, perhaps it's just what luck of the draw, the Sheiks that I've been playing, but just not a thing that much unless I die directly above them or behind, then it's really easy to get execution wise, so to go for it then. But
Okay. I guess I
right?
see why. I see what you mean. Where it's like an execution test. You said.
Yeah, I guess they're not there yet. At least Left Story isn't.
Mm-hmm. They just they just fair to make sure they hit something.
Yeah.
I would just. I guess the only thing I wanted to mention was just be ready for the mix-up in the
Yeah.
future. But
Hmm.
also, that's a general Puff Sheik thing. I don't mean to. I don't know if you want a coaching perspective at all. So, uh, yeah, that's all I mean. Is that is a mix-up, of course. More up airs may come your way out of down throw.
Okay, well I'll keep that in mind. That's yeah.
Oh, this was unfortunate.
Do you think that was a possible rest, or
Oh,
was the sheep too high
super.
percent?
You did it at a perfect time. It was a great idea. It just
Okay.
let's see why it worked. I think it's because you hit a back arrow on their shield, and they try to shield grab you, so you get an up tilt, and then you go for the rest, and see you get an extra jump. Did you see that? So
Right.
you just kind of choke. Fair enough. It's not, this game ain't the easiest. What you needed to do was just that single jump and then rest, and that would have hit. I wish I could. Do I have a slowdown? Let's see. Am I tripping? Playback. Speed. Slower. Okay, that didn't seem to help at all. Okay. I'm just going to put it at normal speed, and we're going to look at it one more time.
I'll pay super attention.
Okay, so here you hit back here the shield, and you get the double jump. Did you see what I mean there?
Yeah, it was very slight, but there was a slight like shift upwards to the right.
Yeah, and that was you jumping over that way and then pressing down B rather than just resting into it.
I was not aware that I was supposed to do only one jump in the first place, so I guess that's something to keep in mind as well.
I think you could do one jump, but two is
Yeah.
like perfect.
Oh, okay.
So there definitely one jump works, but if I would say in most cases you're probably right, where you're gonna need to just like hit a perfect double jump and a rest.
Okay.
Like that could even be the case here, but I think regular a regular rest would have worked. Just a jump and a rest. So anyway, not much to say about his up smash punish.
Yeah.
Punish, of course. That's the first time we've seen Love Story really use the needles, and they work perfectly. No, I think every stock so far. I take that back. They've had really good use of needles. Like at least one needle storms hit you.
Yeah, they I would say that they have good needles, but they are not super relying on them, and I don't feel super scared of them either, right? So they're pretty average.
I think you not being scared results in you getting hit extra times by the needles. Do you want me to point that out, or do you know what I mean?
Are you talking only on the platforms or everywhere?
Everywhere, I think, because when I started talking about the needles, he was using a lot of grounded needles, and you seem to get hit by them.
Thank you.
So
I'll pay attention to that.
yeah, I don't want to go back and do the same thing we just did.
No.
That would be
It's
terrible.
not necessary.
Yeah.
No, I get the idea.
Cool. I don't think I get what's happening here though.
So here I am in an unfamiliar situation, and I'm trying new things, basically.
Okay, so yeah, you gave out the needles there. That's where we were kind of like leaving off. So that's what you mean by you were unfamiliar and trying new things.
Like as soon as I knock them off stage, like here, right?
Okay.
And I'm feeling quite uncomfortable, so I'm just throwing stuff out and like seeing if it works.
Like, what about like here? There's just a lot of wrong decisions, and I'm like, I don't think it's necessary yet to go into them, and I see what you mean, where you're just trying a bunch of things out. So I'm gonna instead point out, I guess, what specifically goes wrong, and then what specifically works for you. I'll see if because why does this down smash work? Because you were you didn't punish the down smash correctly in the first place, probably, and then while you're on the ground, he catches you with a dash attack, and I guess like this entire stock could be summarized just like a lot more crouch cancel.
Right.
Could have been used, and there's a lot of instances. I think that's what I'm looking for here, where that could have helped. Because if you're feeling lost, there's always that one tool we all have. It's crouch canceling. Like instead of jumping into the air and trying to fish about here, you could have been crouching. Could have crouched that instead of shielding, and you're at the perfect percent for it. And again, instead of being in the air, you could have been crouching. So that's a general note or takeaway then.
Yeah, and even a dash deck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, against the dash attack, you'd want to be crouching it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just lots more crouch cancel could be in your gameplay. I think your spacing is pretty good though.
Thank you.
Oh, so let's see. I'm gonna go back a bit. Just I watched that once. Now I'm gonna do it one more time, but slower.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go for it.
So you get a back air. On the platform. Get a back air. He just jumps over you.
Yeah, he was quite randy there. Perhaps he was going for the tomahawk. Yeah, I think again that he went
So
for early.
yeah, clearly it was. Yeah, you're right. He was going for the tomahawk, and then you kick him for it. It's interesting that he comes down to challenge you. I think like it's obvious to me that we would trade here, so I
Right,
probably wouldn't be going for a back air here if I were them.
that
Or
makes sense.
look that you just won. You just win the interaction. So
Yeah, basically, yeah, I get a mix-up where we either trade or I win clean. I don't think they can win clean.
yeah, that's done perfect or spaced perfectly by you there. I'm gonna go over it one more time and then kind of leave it. So I think why it works actually is because he expected you going to the ledge. He was trying to just like throw out a safe bear.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like you could have sang to the ledge here, but instead you just challenged him instantly. Boom.
I guess that's the other side of the coin of me being way too aggressive, and that was a good time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's a good point. Just because you're too aggressive doesn't mean it doesn't have its shining pros, right? There's pros and cons of everything.
Yeah, so it just need a little polish.
Yeah, that's that's a good note for everybody. A little more polish could do. So yeah, great bear here, and then a good forward smash calling him out. What he's doing, it seems, is just coming down to you.
Right.
You see what I mean? Every time I think you catch him here. Sorry, I went back a little too far, but I'm gonna watch it back anyway. Yeah, he's coming down there, so I
Right.
don't know why I pointed in real life, but
And that's a huge commitment, and they seem to
down
not
there,
shy away
down
from
there.
them ever.
Mm-hmm. So you're playing those situations like that. If you're feeling unfamiliar, you should be trying to take advantage of that, right? Like you feel a Sheik is always coming to you. I think you play those situations pretty well.
Yeah. Thank you.
I I think because you feel out a lot of things too, you're gonna see a lot of random things like this happen. I don't
Yeah.
even know what to say. It
Well,
was
it
just
worked out. So
exactly it works out, but let's see. Yeah, totally works out. He goes to ledge though, and you catch a tournament winner with a reverse bear. Madness. Do you think you could have rolled up here?
yeah. So that's like one of the first thing I ever learned about melee is Kirby said, oh, you can just grab ledge and press forward, and then Sheik has to recover on stage. It seems I missed the timing there.
Good point too. If you're like most of the time, right, you're gonna not get the perfect timing for what you want, which I get what you mean because like you're invincible for if she tries to fair you, and you can just press forward and hopefully she just poofs into it while you're still holding the ledge. But you're right, it just doesn't seem to work this time.
Do
Um,
you think that was a guaranteed edge guard, or was there actually a mix up from the Sheik there?
Let me watch it one
I
more time.
press like forward at the right spot, like right timing, right? I did it a little too early.
You did it too early, and I'll show you where you can see he commits. Here, it's around this frame, where like he's committed to pressing forward, and you can see it instantly,
Right.
right? So I think a roll up would have been a safe way to actually get this stock.
Oh, even a roll up. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Just press the trigger, and if you don't think you have the timing for that tech you just mentioned.
Okay.
Or crouch cancel.
Yeah.
If you're shielding too, I would suggest holding down. Just because I think you wouldn't have got jabbed here. This jab wouldn't have popped you up if you're holding down at any point here. So,
Oh, okay, I never thought about that. Ever.
okay. So yeah, hold down in general more. Not just crouch canceling, but in your shield too. Yeah, here. I think while you're grabbing too, if you're holding down, you wouldn't have got popped up. Because jab is just so weak. and crouch cancel is too strong. So yeah, I think you would have at least not got grabbed and then fared here if you were just holding down. So I guess that's why it works. There for
That's
the
something.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was just gonna mention the DI off the throw. The only reason I want to bring it up is because it happens a few times, and like what else do you do other than DI in here? You probably will die anyway. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention the DI off the throw. Because DIing out is ideally most of the time what you want to do. I'd say 1 time out of 10 times, like 9 times out of 10, you want to do the out DI, and then you want to throw in a mix up once in a while of like no DI or like in front of them or behind them, and that means they're gonna have to like try and space the fair differently. They might just mess up, is what I mean, instead of them getting like a guaranteed fair off the down throw.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a. There's nothing better you could have done there, but hey, information. I think a lot that was lacking here too was not holding the ledge.
Right.
Because here you didn't even pressure the ledge. He was just so scared, or so ahead it didn't even matter. I don't know. But let's see. Do you panic when you get hit by these needles?
Oh, I got turned around, so I was like, "Oh, what should I do now?" I'm not quite sure.
So kind of panicky. Kind of like, wait, what? Yeah, a surprise. Fair
Well,
enough.
looking at it back now, hindsight is 2020. Perhaps I
Hmm.
could have dropped down and sang to grab the ledge, even if I was facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. Actually, I was thinking sink to the ledge, and yeah, hindsight is 2020. If you want perfection, did I just skip forward too much forward here, or what happened? No,
No,
I'm good.
I think we're at the same place.
So yeah, you get turned around. I guess that's something to keep in mind then. Like Sheik's needles turn you around, and that could have actually been used to your advantage, where you could have like forward air here,
Right.
but instead you like fade back to the stage. And again, we're not demanding perfection here. It's just like maybe an idea for later if you get turned around
I,
by the
I
needles.
like that because the Sheik doesn't have that much drift, right? So it's not like she's gonna zoom past me below me, right? So I
No,
guess the fair is a direct cutoff
to
to
whatever
her
she
in that
wants to
situation.
do.
Yeah. So I really like
A
that
checkmate,
idea. Yeah.
if you would.
Yeah,
But
I like that a lot.
so it sounds like a couple ideas come from what just happened. These needles like turning around. One was sink to the ledge, or just grab the ledge, or two, you could have tried to cut her off. So whatever you feel is better or more comfortable, is good. And if you mix it up too.
Thank you.
We do have. I'll give us about 5 more minutes to just keep talking. But it's been great actually so far. I hope you feel the same. I know we're only like 2 minutes into your gameplay here, but we'll finish the first game and probably call it. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds great. Well, that's usually how it goes on analysis, anyways, right? So,
Okay, good to hear. I'm not like hyper slow.
no, I've done analysis with Drug Fox, Nikki, and Kadoran, and it's always like this space. That's just normal.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind. Let's just go back here and get my bearings. So I just want to go back to here. Um, I think you play invincibility quite well.
Thank you.
So like the RPS is you like went into the air and Love Story covered wherever you were going down. So let's play it one more time, just so you see what I mean. Because Sheik's invincible, tries to cover that part, but you just go away. So good stuff. If
Yeah.
you floated
Why?
down, then it wouldn't have worked out for you.
Yeah. Why interact, right? In that situation, I'm Jigglypuff.
Perfect. The mix up there is Sheik usually comes up to you, so that's probably what I would have tried to think of, but I'm not perfect either. Is I would have come to you. I would have like tried and fared you because you've been in the air a lot, but yeah, the mix up there is you just went away. But there is a counter to it. That's all I mean. What? Let me just watch this one more time. What's happening here?
I guess he got greedy with the second up tilt.
I'm just trying to figure out what to say about it. If maybe I'll just skip or move on, but it's just interesting. It's like you get hit and you just keep going to them. That's what I'm feeling there. So you trade nairs, right?
Right.
And you're both like kind of stuck on the platform. Forward air, you shield drop, but it gets caught by the up tilt. So I'm gonna watch it one more time after pointing all that out. Air trade, up tilt, hits. Do you feel like there's a better option you could have done here?
Okay, here's an idea, and I don't know if it's a good one. What if I go, maybe instead of a shield drop, I run off stage or I jump off stage to the right, and
Mm-hmm.
and then I try to bait or punish whatever they do on the ground there. Do you have a better idea?
I think you have the right idea, and maybe we can kind of come to a consensus. So here's the what I'm pointing out and stopping at to kind of show your point.
Right.
Because you shield drop here, next frame, you know, you're through the platform and you get up tilted. I think you're right where you could have just went more outwards.
Okay.
I think it's as simple as it sounds, honestly, where it's just like next time, don't go into Sheik. We know she can throw out those fast tilts, so yeah, just like you said earlier, why interact?
Okay. Oh yeah, I need a way more wide interact and way more down holding so far.
True. Those are both good points. Way
That's the
more.
main,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the main takeaways so far.
Like you do that. You do not. You just float away, right?
Mhm.
Like you do it after an up tilt. So you just kind of get out of there. You do it. But you could have done it earlier. Is all I'm thinking.
Yeah, that is very true.
Even there, like you're playing it pretty safe.
I did the same jump back into the down smash that I did earlier that we talked about. So I guess that's a
Mm-hmm.
big problem.
Yeah, like you do nothing off the down smash when you probably could have at some point, like you already crouched it, right? So you have lots of time to just kind of wave dash in or even just walk in and get a grab. Like there was, you know, only microseconds, but still it was a lot of time to probably get a grab, just as you said. It's the same thing as before.
And then and there again.
I think it didn't even go that bad for you either. Because you get
So
a
I got the
fair.
fair, and then I jump back right back into it, just like earlier, right? So that's
Yeah,
a
it's not like if you're thinking that the Sheik is just crouch canceling and spamming like that, it's probably better to just space her out rather than get
yeah.
get destroyed. Let her keep
Yeah.
punching you, and yeah, we get the idea. That was good to point it out. Wow, good DI.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna watch the rest of this and then watch it back one more time, and then we'll call it. So now that I watched it, I think it was like here. Yeah, it was around here that I left off. So you kind of flow through with a fair. I definitely see what you mean with the aerial drift. It's much better with it. I like your little slide off here. You know what I mean? So
One sec. I just got an ad. Okay,
just on
I'm watching.
Discord.
Yeah, I'm watching on Discord now.
So
Could you?
sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. So you see
Oh
that?
yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
that's some good puff stuff. Throw that in lots with Sheik, or
Okay.
against Sheik, and in general, I think just because it's very obvious why it's beneficial because you hit the fair and you have lots of time now to do whatever you want, and you use it to that was beautiful. I think that was sick. You float
Thank you.
away, and then you like perfectly call out Sheik trying to like throw out like good moves, right? And with a pound, it just beats all of them. So I think that works out for you. And let's see, why does it start going wrong though?
My perspective, I feel okay. I'm getting walled out now. I'm off stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the air. It's not great.
I'm just saying here. So that was like an interaction where it went your way. There's a bit of momentum, and then it's like because of some reason, it seems that Love Story is able to reversal you. So it's just
But
like Sorry, go ahead.
I think what happened here is I missed the backer on the platform, right? And I think I could have got that. Yeah, I definitely could. But then because I went for it and missed it, I was drifting way too much into the corner, so I could be punished because of my miss and my drift, right?
Where were you trying to back her?
The tech on the platform, right?
Here.
Oh, here. So I need to
Oh,
hit
you
that
just
backer,
so
and I
you
missed
could.
it, right?
That's where it goes wrong. I think that's great. You pointed that out. Okay.
Yeah, and because I missed it, I was so far in the corner.
I think it goes extra wrong. Actually, it's like you were in the corner, and then Sheik somehow reads your movement of you going towards center stage, because you could have also like went out, right? So like sure
That's
you
a good
miss it,
point.
and you were here, and Sheik was here. You both start going forward towards center stage, and then she calls it out. So I think there or we I already talked about how you could rely probably on your ledge play more. So that's
Let's
it.
just say that I do recall that it's just not something I do going off stage in that situation, so they probably just read it from an hour friendlies, right?
Very true. Very true. Like
So I
no
should
Sheik.
just do that.
Yeah, if you ever find the opportunity, then that's something to keep in mind. Is I guess what I'm saying. So let's see. I'm gonna go back a bit. So we got that, and then we trade here. Why does this not work? I guess that was really telegraphed what they were doing. Like, especially if you've been playing Sheik for quite a while, it's quite obvious that they're gonna start full hopping and fairing around like this time. So I guess to add more to crouching more, that could have been a crouch canceled fair, right? Cool. So instead you get a traded fair, and that's not nearly as good when you're down like this. I thought that was interesting. It's like it seems like you couldn't get to the ledge, and then that was kind of neat though. You get a grab, and yeah, I will call it there too. But
Yeah.
GG.
Well,
Uh,
thank you for the coaching. It was quite helpful. I
right on.
noticed quite a few things.
Yeah, I think just hyper analyzing even one game like that, you notice a couple habits, and then there was like already two takeaways we could, which was one was getting out of there or not interacting, and the other was crouch canceling more. So thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for talking, and good luck in the bracket.
You too. I was about to say the same. So yeah, peace. Have a good
Yeah,
night. Take care.
you too.